Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Only one B and B character can get Luna out of this mess. Luna's going to need more than her grandmother's to stay out of trouble. Luna woke up from her coma on the Bold and the Beautiful feeling fresh as a daisy. But she's once again missing the forest for the trees when it comes to the mess she's in. Luna was giggling over a margarita pizza with Sheila on Friday, August 15's episode, instead of being concerned about how she's going to stay out of jail. Thankfully, Lai is trying to work out that problem. While Luna's not going to respond well to having a grandmother who refers to herself as her drill sergeant and general, she's in desperate need of some structure. She also could use more than medical help. That's where her absent grandfather can step in. Jack is the grandparent Luna needs. Lee, Naomi Matsuda, pulled Luna, Lisa Yamada, from the jaws of death. Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, is her confidant. But neither grandmother is going to be able to stop the law from going after Luna once everyone finds out she's alive. What she needs is a criminal defense attorney. Good thing there's one in the family. Jack, Ted King, hasn't interacted with Luna on screen, but he was once suspected of being her father. He, of course, denied Lai's accusation because he didn't have an affair with her sister, Poppy, Romy Park. But he went through with her forced paternity test anyway. Family is important to Jack. He's been trying to repair his since it was revealed that he tricked Lai into adopting Finn, Tanner Novlan, his love child with Sheila. If Lai looped Jack into the situation, he'd be there in a heartbeat. Luna's grandmothers have stepped up to help her. It stands to reason that Jack would too. Seeing Jack in action would also be a nice sight for B and B's audience. The closest he's come to taking up a case was when Sheila asked him to represent her, and he refused. Lai making a similar request on behalf of Luna isn't likely to be denied. One thing that's true about the Finnegans, they're ambitious and at the top of their fields. There's no doubt Jack could get the charges dropped against Luna. Yes, she had an unregistered firearm, assumed a fake identity, held a school teacher hostage, threatened a woman she'd previously abducted at gunpoint, and was involved in 2 accidental shootings. But that's nothing soap opera magic can't fix. It's doubtful we're going to see the inside of a courtroom, but a little drama between the Finnegans and the Forresters would be fun, especially if it's down at the police station. Jack's going to have his work cut out for him, though if Luna makes another mess at the masquerade, Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, and Katie, Heather Tom, are throwing for Will Crew Morrow. Los Angeles has never been short on scandal, but even by the Bold and the Beautiful standards, Luna Nozawa has found herself in a storm few could have predicted. Sweet, ambitious and desperate to carve her own place in the Forrester Creations legacy, Luna never meant to stumble into such chaos. Yet here she was, caught in a whirlpool of lies, secrets, and one disastrous night that could destroy everything she has worked for. Her mother, Poppy, has done her best to stand by her, but even Poppy's loyalty feels fragile under the weight of the truth. R.J. Forrester, Luna's first great love, is shattered and uncertain if he can ever forgive her. Zend, unknowingly tied to the wreckage, remains both confused and emboldened by the fallout. And while Eric, Ridge, and Brooke sympathize, none of them can truly guide Luna through this minefield without making matters worse. The truth is harsh. Only one person in Los Angeles has the experience, the strength, and the perspective to pull Luna out of this nightmare. That person is Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Steffy, the reluctant protector. At first glance, Steffy wouldn't seem like Luna's savior. The 2 women have barely had the chance to build a bond. Steffy has been absorbed in her own life, managing Forrester, navigating her marriage with Finn, and fighting off the endless shadows of Sheila Carter. Luna, meanwhile, is just the newest addition to the Forrester circle, still proving her worth at the design house. But Steffy knows something that Luna doesn't yet fully grasp. When your life implodes in this family, you can either let the wreckage define you, or you can stand taller, fiercer, and fight for your place. Steffy has been through scandals that would crush anyone else. She has lived through love triangles with Hope, survived betrayals, addictions, and public humiliations, and yet still emerged as one of the most powerful women in the Forrester dynasty. She is the living proof that you can walk through fire in Los Angeles and come out not just standing, but leading. And Luna, she needs that kind of fire right now. For Luna, the mess isn't just about one mistake, it's about perception. Her credibility, her relationship with RJ, her reputation at Forrester Creations, all of it is on the line. To the Forresters, image is everything. A single misstep can mean being branded untrustworthy or unworthy. The night in question, the one where Luna, under circumstances that spiraled out of her control, ended up with Zend, has become the whisper on everyone's lips. Was it manipulation? Was it consent muddied by confusion? Was it betrayal? To Luna, it feels like a nightmare she can't wake from. But Steffi knows better than most that these kinds of scandals don't just fade away. They either drown you or you learn how to swim stronger than ever. Why not RJ or Poppy? Some might argue that RJ should be Luna's rock. After all, he knows her heart, her spirit, and her innocence better than anyone. But RJ is young, hurt, and still wrapped in the cocoon of being a Forrester golden child. He doesn't yet know how to balance love with loyalty to the family name. In his confusion, RJ could unintentionally make things worse for Luna by letting resentment cloud his decisions. As for Poppy, her love for her daughter is unquestionable, but she carries her own baggage. Her complicated past, her entanglements, and her reputation for being flighty make her the wrong advocate in this battle. If Poppy steps in too forcefully, the Forresters may dismiss her entirely, lumping Luna in with her mother's questionable history. That leaves Steffi, the one person who can separate herself from personal entanglements long enough to see the bigger picture. Steffi's game plan. If Steffi chooses to intervene, she wouldn't simply offer a shoulder to cry on. Steffi operates with precision, strategy, and a deep understanding of how reputations in the Forrester world can be weaponized. Control the narrative. Steffi would sit Luna down and say, "You don't let them define your story, you define it. Right now, you're in reaction mode. That ends today." She would guide Luna in shaping her side of the story before whispers grow into permanent scars. Shield from scandal. As COO of Forrester Creations, Steffi has the power to decide which stories leave the boardroom. If Luna is to survive professionally, Steffi's support ensures her talent remains in the spotlight rather than her mistakes. Confront the players. Steffi wouldn't shy away from facing RJ or Zend head-on. She'd push RJ to stop sulking and decide if he truly loves Luna enough to weather the storm. She'd make it clear to Zend that opportunism won't be tolerated, and she'd set boundaries with the rest of the family, reminding them that scandal shouldn't erase potential. Teach Luna strength. Most importantly, Steffi would teach Luna what it means to fight. She'd remind her that being a woman in this family isn't easy. You're tested, ridiculed, and undermined. But those who rise above become unshakable. A bond forged in fire. At first, Luna might resist. She might think Steffi is only stepping in to protect Forrester Creations or to maintain family image. But over time, Luna would realize that Steffi sees something in her. A spark, a resilience, that reminds her of herself when she was younger. Steffi knows the pain of making mistakes, of feeling trapped, of having everyone you love question your worth. That shared understanding could forge an unlikely sisterhood between them, one that transcends their initial distance. The ripple effect. If Steffi becomes Luna's champion, the ripple effects across Los Angeles would be seismic. RJ would be forced to confront his immaturity and grow into a man worthy of Luna's love. Zend, stripped of his leverage, would be forced to reflect on his choices. Poppy would finally see her daughter rising in a way she could never achieve herself. And the Forrester family? They'd have no choice but to respect Luna, not just as a talented designer, but as a woman strong enough to survive scandal, guided by Steffi's hand. The bigger picture.